As we mourn the passing of Nelson Mandela, a great noble leader who changed history, we also take a moment to recall other leaders closer to home. One of those leaders, and a friend of mine, had his memorial service this week. His name was not well known to many outside of Southern Illinois, but he was a good man, a good friend, and he worked throughout his life to create opportunities and a sense of community. His name was John Rednour, although almost everybody skipped the first name and just called him Rednour. He passed away on December 1st at age 78. He just retired as mayor of DuQuoin, Illinois, a small town in southern Illinois where he presided as mayor for a remarkable 24 years. During his tenure, he prided himself on balancing the budget and investing in the city's future. He did it year after year. Amazingly, public service was his third career. John Rednour began his life as an iron worker, a member of the United Iron Workers. He also worked as a shoemaker. In 1970, he moved to DuQuoin with his wife, Wanda, and 3 kids. In the early 80s, he began his second career when he brought together local shareholders and took control of a struggling local bank. He converted it into one of the soundest, most profitable banks in southern Illinois. But it was John Rednour's third career, his work as mayor of DuQuoin, that really distinguished his public service. As a mayor, as I mentioned, he was a fiscal conservative, but he was also a person who believed in giving people a chance. John Rednour was a proud Democrat. In fact, he was the former chairman of the Illinois Democratic Party Chairs. He rode on Air Force One with President Jimmy Carter, and he had a good relationship with presidents, including President Obama. The politicians whose careers he helped launch or advance could have filled a stadium. But he knew there are things that are more important than party politics. He always made it a habit to meet with new DuQuoin City Council members and offer the same advice to them. He said, do what's good for DuQuoin. Do what's right for the people. That's certainly good advice for any office holder. Over the years, my wife Loretta and I were fortunate to be visitors at John Rednour's home at the annual State Fair party at the DuQuoin State Fair. We always appreciated seeing that great crowd for the social event of Southern Illinois for the year, and then staying overnight and waking up in the morning as Wanda, his wife, went in and made her famous Texas pancakes as big as a sewer lid. We loved them, and people gathered from all over the community as Wanda just kept making the pancakes. John's funeral last week was attended by the governor of our state, Pat Quinn, members of Congress, including current Congressman Bill Enyart, former Congressman Glenn Pechard, Jerry Costello, and Ken Gray, and many, many other elected officials. The anecdote that best captured the spirit of John Rednour was offered in the eulogy by his grandson. He said he once asked his grandfather why he gave money to homeless people every time he saw him. John Rednour replied, because it's the right thing to do. Simple as that. It was the right thing to do. Carl Sandburg, another son of Illinois, wrote a poem called Prayers of Steel. It's the prayer of a working person asking for a useful life. John Rednour was an iron worker, but these words about a steel worker apply to him as well. This is what Sandburg wrote. Lay me on an anvil, O God. Beat me and hammer me into a crowbar. Let me pry loose old walls. Let me lift and loosen old foundations. Lay me on an anvil, O God. Beat me and hammer me into a steel spike. Drive me into the girders that hold a skyscraper together. Take red-hot rivets and fasten me into the central girders. Let me be the great nail holding a skyscraper through blue nights into white stars. John Rednour must have prayed those words or something like them often, and God must have heard him, because John Rednour achieved much good in his life. A leader of workers, a businessman, a banker, a mayor, a husband, a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, and a friend to legions. For decades, John Rednour was the great nail that held his community together and helped move it forward. His contributions will enable his beloved DuQuoin to continue to reach for the stars for years to come.